My name's Steve Parker, and welcome to Somerset Airport. I'm third generation of a family owner-operator of a little airport. We've got 2,700 foot of runway here at Somerset, and my grandfather founded the airport back in 1946, and it's been in my family ever since. We do maintenance, we have fuel sales, we have a very busy flight school. But one of the things we do is Part 135 with an airplane like this. Over the years, I mean, we started, more than 70 years ago, flying charter with an Apache. We've had Aztecs, we've flown different types of Navajos and Chieftains, and we've even operated single-engine Moonies. In fact, we had 3 different Moonies that we ran on Part 135, and now we're running a Cessna 414 Chancellor.
Hello, I'm Ross Morton. My father originally got introduced to Somerset Airport when he lived back in the US in the 80s. You might tell I'm from the UK originally. He then moved back to the UK after learning to fly and becoming a flight instructor. And that's where I was born, grew up, and learned to fly at a little airport called Enstone, just outside Oxford, a little Cessna 152. He really started the relationship between Somerset and the Mortons for charter. He bought a Moonie straight from the factory, which we leased to the airport, and they successfully operated as a 135 charter, possibly the only Moonie on 135 charter in the US for many years. And actually we went through 2 or 3 Moonies until eventually we decided to change to the aircraft you see behind me, the Cessna 414.
Somerset Airport is a small airport, but we're only 35 miles west of New York City. We're just outside of the Class Bravo airspace for New York. We're very fortunate. This part of New Jersey is a very affluent part of the state and part of the region. So our customers, we've got a lot of customers in the local area that sometimes are coming in every morning and getting a helicopter ride into the city. And we've got a lot of customers that may regularly go to places like Martha's Vineyard or Nantucket or the Hamptons. It's not been unusual for us to take customers down to DC, down to Dulles, or into Kennedy. And in fact, I've flown into Kennedy in a Piper Navajo, and they once called me a twin Cherokee. In fact, I went in once with the Moonie, and the controller on short final told the Airbus behind me to beware of the Moonie and the prop wash.
So the idea of leasing an airplane on 135 really started with a way to own an airplane for significantly reduced costs. And how do we achieve that? Well, 135 obviously means your fixed costs are a lot higher, our insurance is more, our maintenance is more. We have hourly inspections, calendar items. But by letting Steve use the airplane with customers of his and bringing in that revenue, it offsets the cost of ownership for me almost to nothing, to the point where I can have access to an airplane that I otherwise perhaps wouldn't be able to afford. But I get an airplane with the ice boots, 2 engines, the best maintenance that money can buy. If you think of all the time change items that the Part 91 guys are not required to change, but we have to, I can put my wife and my 4-month-old baby in the back of this and feel absolutely confident that this is one of the best taken care of airplanes out there.
And most Part 135 operators, whether they're big or small, you'll find that they're not owned by the charter operator. It's usually a partnership where somebody wants to have a nice airplane at their disposal. Might be a corporation or might be an individual, but they want that airplane to kind of earn its own keep.
So you've already heard that we used to have Moonies on charter for a long time. Single engine, 4-seat piston, and that worked really well for probably nearly 20 years. But COVID did a very strange thing to the charter market. It brought in a whole bunch of new people who had never used charter before, and it took away the businessman traveling on his own, and often it was now families traveling for leisure. And so the market for the 4-seat single engine reduced significantly, and that is what encouraged us to move into the piston twin. People like the twin engine safety, but also the space in the back and the luggage.
Most often our customers are folks going away for the weekend, usually leisure travelers, maybe somebody that has a house out on Martha's Vineyard or a house in the Hamptons, and we'll take them out on Friday and bring them back on Monday. We also get people going on college visits. That last-minute college visit, we used to do that in the four-seat airplane. Take them up to Bowdoin because daughter wants to really see the college before she makes her decision. But we also get business travelers for people that were dealing with executives in the local pharmaceutical industry that had to go talk to folks down in Washington. But that's not all.
Yeah, we've recently been expanding our client base. Steve has kind of spoken about the leisure and the business travelers, and that's kind of the mainstay of corporate travel or charter travel. But more and more we're exploring what I call kind of the special operations market, whether that's organ transplant relocation. We have some clients who are looking to move mechanics and parts for urgent machinery that needs repair. Things where there's a real time critical need and it's worth spending that money to charter an airplane to get that item there very, very quickly. And it's a great new opportunity for us. It's one of the most valuable things for me. I've already spoken about, personal flying and taking my family up, but I've got a day job as well. And the value of a face-to-face meeting in that is huge. It can make the difference between success and failure. And if I was a, qualified pilot with a small airplane, maybe I could make it there, maybe I can't. But having the opportunity to have an airplane with this speed and this capability basically means I can say, are you east of the Mississippi? Great, I'll be there today.
Well, I'm in my family-owned business, but I did take a little 20-year vacation where I flew for the U.S. Air Force. I was an old C-141 and C-17 pilot. I got a map in my office with pins all over the world. And then I retired, and rather than do the airlines, I came back to the family business. I have to say, I enjoyed my time in the Air Force. I got to fly a lot of neat airplanes, including T-37s, T-38s. But I still have a blast flying little airplanes. And this is a lot of fun to fly. I got a Ronca Champ that I have fun with on the weekends, and flying never gets old. And it doesn't matter where you are and what level you're flying. An airplane's an airplane, and it sure beats working for a living.